How's it going, house hunters? I'm Jeremy Katz with eXp San Diego House Hunting, and let's talk this time in our video series about home inspections and all the things that go with it, the pitfalls, mistakes, and how to avoid them here in San Diego when it comes to finding, winning, and buying a house. First, the purpose of a home inspection. Well, of course, you want to know that what you're buying and what's working, what's not working, and maybe even what's missing with the house. In San Diego, there's a wide range of available property types and ages. So if the house is built before around 1965, it may be on a raised foundation. If it was built since then, it's probably slab on grade. So when you go and get a home inspection, you're going to want them to review the whole house and all of the details about it, all of the systems. So the main purpose of the home inspection is to verify that you know exactly what you're buying before you make the full commitment. You may find that there are some aspects of the house that don't meet your expectations or that do need repairs. Many of the homes in San Diego are a bit older and they do need repairs. And the question, of course, will be are those repairs rise to the level of health and safety issue or that would prevent you from enjoying the property, or maybe too risky in terms of the cost to repair them in the near future. Now, when it comes to finding an inspector, that'll be your next step. You can pick any inspector you want and you can start to shop for them now. We have several that we've worked with that are reputable, honest, and really good at reviewing the whole property and explaining for you in detail what they see and what it might take to remedy the situation or even just maintain your property. It's nice to attend the home inspection and walk through the house and learn from the home inspector's own opinions about what they see, what's working and what's not working. And that way you'll have a chance to know and decide, okay, well, is it a good idea for me to move forward on this house? Is it substantially everything that I thought that it was? The home inspector will help you to determine all of those details. Now, this is a so-called general physical inspection. That's the first inspection that we do on a property. There can be additional inspections that are recommended. Some of the most common ones are the termite inspection or a sewer line drain scope inspection. But there can be a lot of inspections that can be relevant or called for either based on the property or your personal individual situation. Some people really need to test for mold. Some people really are concerned about, let's say, other aspects of the property that will affect the desirability of the property and their intended use for it. So we'll help to guide you. Some neighborhoods have certain issues going on that you need to be aware of, and we'll explain those if you're buying properties in those particular neighborhoods. Now, what's included in a home inspection and what's not? Great question. That's the next step in the, when you have a general physical inspection. It includes all the major systems of the house. So, of course, that includes things like roof, windows, HVAC system, plumbing, electrical, and all of the appliances throughout the property. However, there are some logical limitations. The home inspectors do not inspect the landscaping, the fencing, the property lines. They don't inspect whether trees from your property are overgrowing the neighbor or vice versa. They don't inspect things like the home security system or audio-visual equipment that may be somehow included. They do test appliances. They turn them on and verify that they're working. If they are not turned on or operable, they simply mention that in the report. So they, of course, check the water heater for water heater compliance, including earthquake strapping and flexible gas line. They check for carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors. These are within their scope. So if you're wondering, hey, look, are they going to inspect a certain thing or not? You can ask me or the inspector on the day of the inspection, and you can still, of course, request additional inspections if necessary. Now, in San Diego, there are some neighborhoods or situations where you might undertake more inspection. Remember that if you're buying a property that's near the beach, there tends to be a lot of ocean spray and humidity and salt in the air. And that may lead to a variety of corrosion. So if you're buying a property that's a bit closer to the beach, watch for and look for those details and make sure that the house is being adequately maintained. The ocean air is particularly strong and caustic for maintenance. It may affect the paint and the metal components of the property, and it's a good idea to have those inspected and to know whether or not they've been adequately maintained. Some neighborhoods do have issues, let's say even with soils like subsidence, or neighborhoods that are old enough now that had cast iron drain lines. So if the neighborhood that you're buying in was built, say, between 1950 and 1965, you may still have cast iron drain line. Their useful life is 50 years. So actually, now that's heading towards 60, 70, or even 80 plus years since that drain line was actually placed. And having the sewer scope a supplemental inspection. Remember, each of these inspections do cost some money, and your costs and investments in these inspections are so-called sunk costs. You won't be able to get them back if you decide not to buy the house. So it's important to balance the need to thoroughly inspect with the pragmatic and realistic aspect of the fact that inspections cost a lot of money. So I'll help to guide you and try to explain to you what your options are and what the costs and benefits are of the various inspections that may be recommended. Next, you'll receive a copy of the inspection reports. There are a variety of reports available from the seller about what they know about the property. These are the so-called disclosures, not reports. So the seller will provide you these disclosures, the transfer disclosure statement, the seller property questionnaire, and a variety of state-mandated disclosures. Those may help you to decide what to inspect or if any certain supplemental inspections are called for in your case. I'll help to guide you. When you get and receive the report, it's a good idea to thoroughly review it, maybe print it, maybe circle or earmark some of the pages and discuss with the inspector, or give me a call to go over, hey, look, what did we find here? What does it mean? Might it cost to fix that concern now or later? And if it's a maintenance issue, is that something that we can negotiate on? Or is that something that you'll be looking at having to complete after you purchase the property? Now, what's the difference between an inspection and an appraisal? Well, an appraisal is also an inspection, except that the appraisal is for the bank. The purpose of an appraisal is to establish the property as collateral for the bank in the event that the buyer is not able to perform on the mortgage. So their main concerns are the longer term aspects of the condition of the property, not the cosmetic aspects, or sometimes not even the systems in the house. The inspector may tell you things like that appliances have either reached or exceeded their useful life. The appraisal does not get into that issue. So an inspector might tell you, for example, oh, the water heater is 15 years old, and that the expected life expectancy of a water heater is only 10 to 12 years. So this water heater, it's working, but it's actually beyond its considered useful life. It may actually break down any minute now. You need to know that. Now, to mitigate that, you might also ask for a home warranty. It's unlikely, I think, to be candid, that a seller will replace a water heater if it's actually still working. Would you? It may still work for many years to come. On the other hand, it is past its useful life, and even though that it's working now, it could knock off any minute. So you may want to get a home warranty that'll help to reduce the cost of replacing the water heater in the first year after your ownership. If you want your home warranty to extend beyond a period of 1 year, you can buy extensions to the home warranty. Now, most of our inspections are undertaken for what we would call pass-fail purposes. The old line that we would explain to folks about the inspection is that the purpose of the inspection is to uncover things that we could not have reasonably known, while standing in front of the property at ground level. So that means we don't have x-ray vision. We didn't crawl under the house. We didn't go into the attic, right? We don't necessarily know what's the situation with the roof, especially if it's on a hidden part or section of the roof that we could not see while standing at ground level. Many of the other factors that are in an inspection are, of course, visible to us. The condition of the windows, the appliances, the general cosmetic condition of the property. Those are factors that generally we need to incorporate into the original purchase offer price. So although I will negotiate firmly for you and guard your interests legally and financially, and even try to stretch that to the greatest extent possible, it's likely that sellers will deny requests from us for things that we could have seen or known just when we went and first saw the property. They will not tend to negotiate on those. If we find something serious or drastic, you can of course drop out and get your money back. No one's going to urge you to buy a property that has serious problems. On the other hand, you may discover that the property has some issues that might be big enough to concern with and to negotiate over, but that would not stop you from actually buying the property. So those are the ones that we tend to negotiate on and focus on the most. The things that are really strictly cosmetic, or maybe were very evident to us when we first made our offer, we can try to request those. However, I think you'll see that in this market, that sellers are unlikely to entertain those requests because, well, we could reasonably see them when we first made our offer. So handyman issues, cosmetic dings and marks, and issues like that are generally superficial are typically not negotiable, and we have to take the property as is. Lastly, I want to encourage you to get a general physical inspection on your property. Virtually every buyer should be doing this. Maybe unless they are a general contractor, get a general physical inspection for the property. It's going to save you a lot of time and heartache. It will raise your confidence in your purchase, and it will give you a lot of peace of mind. So definitely recommend getting the general physical inspection first, typically also a termite inspection, and then we can decide if there's any additional inspections that are somehow needed case by case according to the property or your personal situation. Thanks so much for watching our video on the home inspection process and all of the details that go with it. If you have questions or comments, make sure to just write back, or even give me a quick phone call or send me an email. I'd be glad to answer your questions, open up additional resources for you. Maybe you want to see a copy of an inspection report for a home that is similar to the kind of property that you're going to buy. I have closed over 800 transactions in my career. I have a lot of inspection reports, and you're welcome to have a review of a recent inspection in case it may help you to understand how they look and how they work. Thanks so much. I'm Jeremy Katz with eXp San Diego House Hunting. Good luck and happy house hunting.